Unplugged and repugnant, right?
Ready to go, and we're gonna make this worthwhile for everybody.
Right, I've just restarted the recording. I'll edit out the first bit because it's a bit naff, yeah? And we'll start again. So I'm very pleased
Lovely.
now to have Simon Stanley here, who's been booked for a couple of weeks to tell us all about what he does on the internet. Now, I've been following Simon off and on for quite a time now. I met him first 2 years ago, I think it was, in Manchester, and we hit it off. We got on like a house on fire. He gets on like a house on fire with everybody, but that's beside the point, literally. And we met up again, I think, at the beginning of last year at another seminar. I think it was in Nottingham. That's right, which was great. It was all about traffic and how to drive and convert traffic and sales. And you seem to have got the hang of that. Would that be correct, Simon?
Yes, absolutely. So I look forward to sharing it. So yourself and the majority of people here everybody's into the internet stuff. It's not really the mindset stuff, I'm guessing. So how many people we got on here at the moment?
There's 67 lurkers, but 4 who are actually have admitted that they're here.
Oh, okay, lovely. 67.
But we will get interaction as it goes on. We've had a chat with a few people so far while we were waiting for you, and awesome. I was about to blow your cover on something I read about you recently, by the way. So Solid Crew.
Oh, wow.
Let's start off with that. Get that out of the way.
What? How did you find that?
No, don't worry. Let's start with the marketing.
No, I don't mind. So, okay. So when I was going through university, I was as you know, I was a beatboxer making weird noise with my mouth. And I don't know. I was out working, doing it one time, and I bumped into these guys, the So Solid Crew. And I was touring with them before my internet marketing journey, doing that. And
I hoped we'd get that in.
Yeah.
No, I've actually listened to a couple of their tracks recently. 21 Seconds, I think, is one that they've just brought out. It's unbelievable. So you were in good company. I see where you got your influence.
Yeah, you got it.
So tell us what you do on the internet. Tell us what you're doing now. And I think you've got quite a few things to share with us. I was telling everyone about your early morning videos I've been watching on YouTube and how inspiring they are, and particularly one you did about power moves. I absolutely loved that. I was going on that for days. So over to you, Simon.
Okay, absolutely. So I'm all about integrating lifestyle and the mind and just life, enjoying life in general, as well as internet marketing, So don't get me wrong, I love the idea of generating an income online. I absolutely love it. But I think it's no good unless you're actually really thriving and enjoying life, as well as generating that income. Okay, so I think a lot of people, once they master the basics of driving traffic and making money online, it's a very easy concept, even though a lot of people aren't there yet. But traffic to a high converting offer equals money. And once you've got that down, you're ready to go. So the problem I find, though, is once they do that, a lot of people don't have the motivation to get up in the morning, actually rock, really get going and really enjoy life as well as making this money. So that's what I'm all about, integrating the shifts within the mind that people need to make to take each level to that, each core pillar to the next level. So
I think you probably agree with me if I said that the first important thing we need is passion. And you have a great deal of it, and so do I. And in fact, that's more important to me than the income.
Yeah,
so I think
absolutely. Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I mean, obviously, everybody needs that base, that money coming in that they can enjoy, and so that everything's paid and the certainty's taken care of. But how do you then leverage that and take everything up to the next level based on each person's values and needs and wants? So that's what I specialize in. And I guess that's why I'm a little bit different than a lot of people, just focusing on the money, because that's very nice and everything. But you ask the multi-billionaires that are depressed why they're depressed, and it's because they didn't focus on this stuff. So that's why I'm all about enjoying the journey.
Yeah, I can totally relate that to all the top bloggers I've been talking to recently. Ryan Biddulph, amazing guy. He says exactly the same. That it isn't the money that makes you happy; it's the happiness that makes you money. And I think that's a really nice phrase. I
Wow,
just made that
wow,
up.
I love
Actually,
that.
I
I
just
love
made that
that.
up. I hope you like it.
Nice. I
That
love
just
that, Rich.
came up. So,
Wow.
so a lot of these guys would absolutely agree with you.
Yeah.
All the people we hold in high esteem, including yourself.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, wow, I love that, Rich. By the way, I have to write. I have to remember that and write it down.
So am
So,
I, because I just made it up and I can't remember it
yeah,
now.
I love that, and it's absolutely true. I mean, ultimately, I feel, especially with creating your own products and programs, eventually, when you get to that, everyone gets to that level eventually, and I think it's what you just said nails it on their head. It's the happiness or how you feel in this business that actually sells. If you haven't got that sense of if you're not kind of being genuine as to who, and I know you, Rich, you are the key role model in marketing who you are as a person, and that's why I absolutely love it. And when you can get to that level, you can people buy into that, and they're buying into a genuine product then, rather than people.
Transparency. Yeah,
Exact.
transparency.
That's the one. That's the one. And absolutely, yeah. I mean, to me, that's the number one key, marketing.
Absolutely agree with you. And, that is, in fact, it's very interesting what you just said, because I've actually started in the last 2 weeks building my first ever sales funnel from beginning to end. And I am on fire with it. I can tell you, I don't sleep now because I'm up every 3 or 4 hours with a new idea. And I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Do you know that?
absolutely, Rich. Absolutely. I mean, some of my sales funnels, when it's the right thing that you're doing, when time just slips away and you just don't even realize it. That is when you're doing the right thing, I believe.
Jenny's just remembered the quote I came up with, the thing I wrote, which I'd forgotten. And it's not the money that makes you happy, it's the happiness that makes you money. Thank you so much.
Yeah. That's the one. That's the one.
Right. Just going to write that down. You carry on, sir.
Yeah. So, that's really what I specialize in, is the integration of mindset. And I believe Jennifer that just wrote that as well. When I've watched her videos, she's the same. You can see that she really enjoys life, and anything that she makes on the internet is just going to take each level to each core pillar to the next level. So I think people seeking happiness through making money online, or think that dream like everything's going to be okay once I make all this money, it doesn't come. And I think when you have your magic number, this is one of the keys. This is one of the keys to when I started out. I was working 9 to 5. I was earning £3.75 an hour with a funny brimmed hat, selling meat and fish at a local supermarket. And wow, I thought there must be a way to make money with this internet thing. There must be a way to be able to package myself, or package what's locked inside my mind online. And yeah, so that's the journey I set out on. So it's definitely for me a long journey as well. But I realized that I needed my magic number. Sorry, Rich, to interrupt you, but my magic number. What would it take to cover my car costs, my rent or mortgage, to feed, if you've got kids, to feed the kids, to take them to school, to everything. And once you find out that magic number and what it would take to earn a little bit above that, so you can still keep saving, then you are set. But it's a lot lower than most people think.
In what way? How would you go about finding that? Could you explain that to people?
Yeah, absolutely. So all you would need to do is just calculate your expenses. Okay, so if it's repair costs on your car, if it's mortgage, if it's rent, if it's whatever it may be, you just need to calculate exactly that number, that magic number that would set you free. And I believe most of the happiness with you running your online business, so that you can come on these calls like this and be absolutely aligned with what you're doing, is finding out that number. And once you reach it and go above it, you'll actually find out you do better and you make more money because you're not constantly trying to chase a rabbit that doesn't exist, not always trying to chase that carrot that's dangling in front of your head of the next thing or the next big sale. Or, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's great. But once you realize what you need, you actually find out, I believe, that you'll make more money in the long run and you'll be more motivated because then you're coming from a place of creativity rather than scarcity. So that's what I found there. And once you've got that budget, it's a heck of a lot lower than most people think. Like, as you know, us guys are involved in a number of opportunities and a lot of different programs out there. But say, for example, for me, okay, let's say for me, if I could make, say if I was starting from scratch, if I had nothing right now and I was starting from the bare basics, okay, maybe I need $2,000 a month. Okay, and that will cover my rent and that will cover everything. Don't get me wrong, I'd like to make more than that, but that's like one high ticket sale. And once you realize that, and you just need to make one sale in 30 days, and that's your job, then you actually find out you'll make a heck of a lot more than one sale. But when you're constantly thinking 30 sales, 100 sales, like it's, yeah.
I remember when
that was my run.
We did that thing with Dean Holland, a friend of mine, and I think you know him. I know you know him. And he said, just write down your expenses and see. First of all, think if you have a guess as to what you think it'll be, and then work it out. And I thought it would be about $3,500, $4,000 a month, and it was $1,500. My rent, car, everything, $1,500. I thought, that's what I need to earn, which is below the national average wage, just to keep myself on the road. So anything else is profit. And that was such a relief, wasn't it, to know that? Yeah,
exactly. And once you realize that and you actually let go, it's a huge amount of power in that, I believe. But most people don't consciously think it or aren't aware of that number and don't realize that, you know, I don't have to be the best earner on the entire internet. I just need to be able to provide for myself, my family, for the people that I care about, and to earn a little bit more than that. And to
your
save
international jet set lifestyle as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. But you know what? I that's what I realized about myself. What makes me thrive is taking that video camera, strapping it on my back and traveling Europe and traveling the world and sharing it with my followers. And actually, it's what's interesting and exactly what you said earlier. It's not the money that makes you happy. It's the happiness that makes you money. And I love that. I have to put that on Facebook or something.
It is copyrighted.
Yeah, it's copyrighted, which fingertip well. So that's it. Exactly. And if you're using the cash to make you happy, then you actually end up making more money because people can buy into it and you're legitimate and you're thriving and people think, you know what, I'm going to buy some of this. And that's where it comes from. So it's all about, I believe, aligning with your values and what you want. And mine, you know, I'm Jennifer says my husband would be jealous, Simon, of your life. Oh, loved it. Yeah, and again, I realized what it would take to just jump on some EasyJet flights and fly around Europe and take my video camera and get an Airbnb now and again, and that's what makes me really enjoy doing what I'm doing. But if I, for example, was not doing that and I'd conform to what most people were saying to me before, saying, Simon, you're running away from something, and you say to yourself, no, I'm aligning with my values and I'm actually going towards something, and that's what makes me happy. And I think as long as you can do that.
Yeah. The other thing we identified recently was about not seeking approval, but actually not trying to please other people with your business, but pleasing yourself. What would you say about that, Simon?
Oh, wow. I mean, absolutely. Oh, and don't get me wrong. You need to, obviously, if you've got family and those you need to take care of course, that always comes first. But as long as, I'm saying that, let me take that back. This is going to sound very controversial, but as you say, when you jump on a flight to go on anywhere, they always tell you to put on your mask first before helping others, right? If the oxygen masks drop down, you put yours on first before helping other people. And I believe if you're not filled up with what you're doing, and Rich, like I see your Facebook posts, I see exactly what you're doing, and you are somebody that I believe is on that journey that is obsessed is the wrong word, but you are really enjoying the journey. If what every small goal, every small milestone that's going towards the big boulder you want to push off the edge of the cliff, you're doing it, and you're celebrating each success, and I love that. I absolutely love it. But you're filling yourself up through doing that, and
Absolutely.
and you're going to inspire others, and you inspire. Look, the reason this call exists, and it's going to sound a bit weird, but is because I loved what you're doing, and I love your posts, and I thought, wow, that'd be a great call to jump on with Rich and talk about this stuff. So there you go. Your happiness has made this call a possibility, and I absolutely love it. So what about you, Rich? Come on, let's hear something from you. I want to hear some fingertip wealth, ninja blogger.
Oh, God. I took that name on because I decided I redid all my strategy. We all talk about strategy in this business, which is the things you do on a daily basis in order to bring about your achievement. And I lost my creativity when I joined the business I'm in now, because I stopped focusing on what I was doing and tried to do what everybody else was doing. I was trying to become a marketer. I bought a tie and a shirt and copied all the email type stuff that everybody does, and nothing was happening. My passion, my fire had gone out. And as soon as I put that aside and said, I'm not doing that anymore, I'm going to go back to what I enjoy, which happens to be cartooning. And I sat down and started cartooning again. And suddenly all my energy and all my passion and I came back into the picture. So now, just to let you know, the funnel I'm building is about how to market your online drawings and things like that. It's a little play around funnel, but it will work. And I know it will work because it's coming from my heart instead of from my mind. And I think that's what it's all about. It's finding your passion and then marketing it. Don't start with the marketing and then look for your passion later, because it doesn't work. It's the wrong way around. You have to light the fire, and the fire has to come from within you and go outwards. It won't come from the outside into you. That's what I think.
Yes, absolutely. I totally agree with that. I think absolutely there's fundamentals as well. So the best way I describe it is it's a difficult one, isn't it? I believe there has to be an alignment with your passion and the marketing strategy as well. Like if you see something and it's selling like crazy and you think to yourself, right, what if I had my slant on that? What if I could be the ninja blogger, the drawer, whatever it may be, that can market this message? And so the principles I believe need to be there. It has to be a niche that sells as well. But ultimately, again, if you can make that magic number, it just releases all of this anxiety and allows you to be more creative, like you said. You just need, for example, one big ticket sale a month, and you're covered, and you're making some cash on top. And anything else on top of that, you're gonna compound every single month.
If I drift off every so often and start typing, it's not because I'm being rude. I'm dealing with the chat box, in case you wondered. Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. Okay. So, the actual strategy itself. Shall we dig into that, about how exactly do I send traffic and how did I get started sending traffic? And
I've got a little crib sheet here, and the next thing on there is how does Simon find his traffic? So there you go.
Cool.
The nail. Over to you again.
Absolutely. So, first of all, I believe there's two ways to generating income online, a sustainable long-term income. There's affiliate marketing, whereby you're selling other people's products and programs, but yet you're creating your brand. So you're getting followers. Like now, there's 68 people tuned in watching this live, and a lot of these guys are people that had subscribed to my YouTube, or they're people that were on my Facebook, or I sent an email to some of my lists, and I don't need my own product for that. I just needed to be an affiliate. So, for example, I'm affiliating with you right now, and I'm saying, hey, check out Rich, and if you like what we're saying, type in the chat box and whatever. And that's me being an affiliate. Now, that's a great way to start, and it alleviates all of the overwhelm without having to think you have to create all these sales funnels to begin with, and you know, and that's what I love about some of the businesses we're involved with and we connect with is it's all done for you. And that's why I absolutely believe in it. And it's very rare for me to enroll in businesses or network marketing or anything. But yeah, Dean, when I saw Dean live and I could see what he had, immediately I knew I needed to get involved. And it's something so powerful whereby you can be an affiliate. You can have that as your base of a product and refer people to a high converting sales video, yet still create your own brand. It ticked all the right boxes. So once you've done that and you start generating an income through that and you start making sales, then you can move on to creating your own products and programs. And that's what I love. And that's what I've actually doing now. And I have to be honest with you, it's taken a good few years for me to get to that level where I was like, okay, I need to create my own products here. Until then, you can just sell like somebody else's product or program, someone else's brand, and rock and roll that way. Yeah. So, yeah. And the great thing I have to say with iPro is that they've got like high ticket sales in the back end. So a lot of your campaigns, a lot of what you're doing, you can leverage to the maximum because you just need one person to enroll on the back end, and in a month you've made $2,500.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Were you around on Friday when we attended a webinar with Dean? Because he let something slip out there, which was fascinating, which I will share with you in case you weren't there, Simon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
He was asking about the funnel I was creating, and I said, would there be a time in the iPro business where you could actually bring your own product to the table and get other iPro marketers to affiliate them? And he said that is the next step. So that absolutely fascinated me, bringing our own stuff into the mix and using it's a generic sales funnel. You can turn it to anything. You can sell anything with that sales funnel. And that's a very important turning point to realize that you don't need to sell a particular thing. It doesn't, you can sell your own stuff using the same system. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So for me, like, even keep it on, like if you're creating MSIs, that's what I studied a guy called Big Bob Proctor, and he calls them MSIs, multiple streams of income. All wealthy people have multiple streams of income, and that might be affiliate products that you've signed up for. So each one is extremely valuable. So if you've got, if one of your MSIs is iPro, okay, that for me, that's what it is for me. Whenever I want to make some extra cash, I just need to send traffic to that sales funnel. It's going to make me money. I know pretty much almost certainly it's going to. You just need to send targeted traffic to a high converting offer, and that equals money. And with iPro, even when you've created your own products and programs, like I have myself, I've got it looks like a best-selling product on ClickBank, but yet I still roll with.
Is that called Freedom Income Formula?
Yeah, Freedom Income Formula. Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, I had to plug it. So, yeah, and even having created that, throughout those campaigns, I'm still sending people to iPro. So it's all about creating multiple streams of income. And once you get started, it's just a game, man. You get making money. Again, that's why I think the magic number is so critical. Because if people don't realize what it is and what their goals are, if you don't know what it is that you want, then you're always going to be chasing the next thing. But again, when you come from that place of creativity and you're creating multiple streams of income, it becomes a game then. And I absolutely love it. And especially once you've hit that level and you're creating your own products, you can then create it thinking to yourself, okay, I'm going to take my time with this. I know it's going to work eventually, but I've got this money coming in through these other streams of income, and anything now is a bonus. That's the way I look at it.
Isn't it a great feeling when you start off with an idea and you know it's going to work incontrovertibly? You 100% know. It may not be tomorrow or next week, but you just know if you keep doing it, because there's one of the secrets in this business is just to keep doing it.
Yes.
One of the secrets that most people don't seem to know is that you just have to keep doing it. It's just actually, you don't even need to be very bright. You just need to be very consistent.
Yes.
Which is absolutely how I got in.
Yeah.
You've
Oh,
disappeared,
100.
Simon. Ah, we've lost Simon for a moment here. Let's get him back. It's yep. Welcome back after the break. This is one of the beauties of Blab. You can't map it out and know what's going to happen next, because there's always something around the corner unexpected, which kind of makes it more fun. That's what I like about it. It's the unexpected part of Blab, where you suddenly disappear for no reason. It's great.
Yeah. So how did you hear of Blab? Like how did you hear of this is my first time on here on Blab, so
I'll tell
I'm
you.
really
I'll tell you
impressed.
what happened. It started because everybody kept asking me to go on Periscope, and I kept trying Periscope, and all I saw was people being very rude to each other and rolling nefarious cigarettes at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I just thought, I really don't want to be a part of this. It's not my culture. What else is there? So I went on the internet, Googled a few things, and Blab turned up. It was a new platform, and I spoke to a friend of mine called Glenn Finn. I know you know him, and he said that it is the next one. Keep your eye on it. So I've now invited the people who make Blab. They're going to come on here and do a question and answer for anyone who's interested at some point in the future. I've got the team coming on to do one. So there you go. That'll be good.
Nice.
And they've got a lot of new stuff about to roll out with this. This is still in beta test, as you can see up on the left there, Blab
Yep.
beta. So the reason things go wrong is they haven't ironed out all the creases yet, but at some point they will have done. Anyway, I want to get back to you because that's the interest. That's why you're here. I want to hear more about what you're doing. I did see your Bob Proctor video, by the way. Very, very good.
Lovely.
Loved
Awesome.
it. Yeah, I'll be coming to look a lot more of your things, actually.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, that's something I've just really got going with big time. Actually, is with YouTube, and actually, I followed my brother's footsteps there. He created a big following on YouTube, and beforehand, I thought, yeah, I mean, it sounds good, and but when other things are working, you just kind of just put these things to the side, And I got to be honest with you, actually, Rich, and everybody that's on here, all 70 people are. I've got an admission to make. I hit that ceiling myself. I hit that point where I thought to myself, I kind of lost my way a bit in terms of I was generating the income, and that was great. But if you don't have a vision, if you don't have a goal, if you don't have the next step that you want, you start losing the way a bit. And I guess that's what happened for me. I hit the levels I wanted to hit in terms of income and being quote unquote successful, what I always thought I wanted to do. And I wasn't waking up with that feeling anymore. And I thought to myself, why is this? So again, I went back to the drawing board, exactly what I mapped out at the beginning. And again, it comes down to my values. It comes down to my purpose, I believe, on this earth is to share empowering ideas through mass media, through what I've learned through my teachings, or people that I've learned through in the past, whether it be books, whether it be seminars I've attended, and to feel that I'm giving value. And I just felt like I wasn't giving enough value. So I looked at YouTube as the perfect tool to not only generate traffic consistently and leverage that traffic so it makes you money, but also you're genuinely helping people and not always trying to sell. And don't get me wrong, selling is extremely important. And I think everybody needs to sell in some respect, whether it's finding the girlfriend that you want, whether it's getting a job, or whether it's making money online. Everybody needs to sell. But I think I focus too much on that a little bit. And I kind of got sidetracked down that route. So, cut long story short, I looked at YouTube and I thought, right, what if I can master this social media thing? What if I can create videos that are into actually virtual real estate that will consistently send me subscribers, consistently send me people that are interested in my brand, in what I'm selling or what I'm giving on my videos. And I find I love it. And I tell you what, I think YouTube is a completely different sea of people that are not necessarily in the internet marketing or self-help crowd, but they somehow stumbled upon your video and they saw they liked what they saw and they subscribed, and then they end up following you, and you start generating subscribers that way.
I'd like to ask you something about that, because you mentioned your brother earlier. Now, I remember meeting him, and I believe he was heavily into Facebook at the time I saw him, and he was an expert. Well, probably still is. So you now tell me he's moved on to YouTube. So is he actually doing courses on how to use YouTube correctly and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, he does coaching. I mean, not so much like video tuition, but it's more like coaching. And he, I'm lucky enough to be his brother, so he tutored me down the road. But yeah, I guess he's always been into Facebook, and he's always been on the background. He's always running a YouTube channel as well. Now he's generated, how many subscribers? Almost 30,000 YouTube subscribers he's got now, and he's getting
that's almost 30,000 more than me.
yeah. And he's getting like over 100,000 views on each video sometimes. So I looked at this, I thought, imagine if you could tap into just a portion of that 100,000 on each video, and there are people all going to your website. And the best thing is, each video that you put up is going to work for you. So say, for example, you created one video a day and you uploaded it to your YouTube channel over the course of a year. You've got, say, 365 videos that are all working for you while you're sleeping, and it's costing you nothing apart from your time, effort, and dedication, and thinking of a topic to speak on. And you build subscribers slowly, and the hardest part is starting. And I've got to admit, for me now, this is the starting process for me on YouTube. And to begin with, it's like nobody cares, right? You're a channel in the middle of a whole sea of channels on YouTube, and you're putting content out there, and you might get 20 people that watch it. If you share it on Facebook, whatever it may be, then you'll get 20 to 30, sometimes 80, whatever it is. And don't get me wrong, that's great. But I think a lot of people give up with it because they're expecting for the big hit, the big viral video right at the start. But no, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And no, it's just about step by step, video by video, and over a year, you'll have 365 videos that are all sending traffic to your website in addition to what you're doing now. And I thought, well, that's worth it then, isn't it?
Well, I just put something in there, if I may, because I'm just about to cross another record, because I use Twitter. Now, everybody says, what are you bothering with Twitter for? There's no stay power there. It disappears after 10 minutes. But I'll tell you what, if you just constantly and consistently put those tweets out every day, you start to build followers. And then, for example, today when, we were going to do your interview, I blasted Twitter with it, and I got an awful lot of response, and some good people are on here. I know some of them are on here. They're not all yours.
Nice.
But yeah, 400. It's only 400, but it's only taken me 3 months to go from 30 to 400 just by being consistent. And all those people engage. That's very interesting.
Absolutely. Well, let's try that. This is going to be interesting. Let's try this now, if I can. I need to tweet, actually, that we're live right now, live direct. Let's see if anyone else joins.
See if you get some more in, yeah.
Yeah. Why not? Let's join the party.
I'll do the same. We're both going to take a 10 seconds out now to Twitter a tweet or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Right. I've got your tiny URL here, so I'll just copy it back straight in there. Here we go. Done.
Nice. Okay.
Let's get back to the business.
Yeah, absolutely. So, right. So, how
Question,
exactly
can you still see me while I'm on Twitter? Can you still see me on the camera? Am I still visible on the camera now?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I've got another page open. I'm still getting the hang of all this. Thank you.
Awesome. Oh, Jen is still online. Wicked.
Okay, it's I'm just putting that up. Give me a second. I'm a bit slower than you. You're young and youthfully active. I'm 63. There we go. Done.
Never, Rich.
I'm back. And we have somebody else has just arrived, so it did work. Cara Lambert. Hello, Cara. Very
Hello,
pleased
Cara.
to see you on here. Welcome. We did a little experiment. We did a tweet just now to see if anybody would respond and come straight on here, and you've proved that it works. So thank you so much. you can. It's good to see you, Simon.
Great stuff. So yeah. So basically, that pretty much is my business. And I think if you can if you can start with that foundation of knowing that magic number, knowing exactly where you're going with your online business so that you're fired up every day and enjoying, then I mean, that's a huge shift, I believe. Not only I mean, why are we doing this make money online stuff anyway? It's to be happy, isn't it? And
sure.
No matter if somebody's in a huge amount of debt or if someone's got all these money problems, of course. But ultimately, once you get past that, you know, it's just a game. And I believe it's a game of fulfillment. And when you're fulfilled, then you're going to put more content out and you're going to be, you're going to feel better as a human being. So anyway, on top of that, how do I actually get people to my websites? How do I get my subscriber list? How do I get, if I've got an idea, how do I then send people to that thing? So, sorry, mate, I interrupted you for a second.
No, I'm just thinking out loud. It's all right. Because I didn't script this because I know what you're like, and I know that you have so many agendas going on that it would be a waste of time scripting it. So I just put 3 little notes. That's it, and thought I'll just let you off the leash. So I'm going to do that now.
Wicked. Okay, cool. All right, I'm off the leash. I'm ready to go. Right. So ultimately, everything you're doing, as long as you can, absolutely, Jennifer, happy first, work second. Absolutely. As long as that work is aligned with that, you're good to go. And now, in terms of the mechanics, Anthony Robbins says, success and fulfillment is 80% psychology and 20% mechanics. And I think when people work that out, the world will be a better place. If you realize 80% of success is you being in an alignment with your own values. Everyone has different values. For me, one of my values is to go travel and experience new things. For somebody else, that'll be their worst nightmare, right? So everybody's different. You've got to figure that thing out first. Now, second, the mechanics. If everything you're doing is aligned with you building your following, you're building your brand, your subscriber list, ultimately then you can recommend products and programs people are going to buy because they trust you, then you're going in the right direction. So for example, with me, with some business opportunities, iPro, and a lot of people enroll in the high ticket because they've engaged with my videos. So say over the course of a month, they've seen a load of my YouTube videos or my video series, or I've connected with them on Facebook. They're going to enroll because they've came through me and they think, okay, well, if Simon's involved, then I need to get involved. But if nobody's going that extra mile and just kind of looking at the numbers and expecting them to outsell everybody else, it doesn't work like that. So as long as you're aligned with building subscribers and your base of people that know, like, and trust you, then you're in the right direction. Now, exactly how do you do that? How do you start creating this fan base without having money to get a huge bank balance to get started with? So the best way is to do this, exactly what you're doing, Rich, is to collaborate with people that have some circle of influence. Some people that are able to create content with you. So right now, this will become a recording that we've got here. And I, and also you, hopefully, will be uploading this to YouTube. You can then you can edit it first, send it to YouTube, keep the best bits in, and that's content. Also, with the right keywords, you put it on YouTube, and other people that didn't know you will find you, watch your video, subscribe to you. And you just need to find people that will do that with you. And that's how I started. I found joint venture partners that work with me. Welcome, Cameron. Nice to see you, man.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So important that to not just to become an island and insulate yourself, isn't it? I've just made a note here. Have you ever felt in your progress that you've got to a point where suddenly I'm missing something here? What am I missing? Where's the piece that's missing out of this jigsaw? I feel so frustrated and annoyed because I can't make that next step. Yes. How do you overcome that? Because that is a very common thing. You get to a next plateau, don't you? Absolutely.
And it never stops, I believe. No matter what level you get to, you always, and most marketers won't admit this. I have to be honest with you. Everyone puts their best version of themselves on Facebook, on Instagram, whatever it is, and take a picture of their food. Oh, look at this. Oh, I'm so happy. But they don't actually sit back and look about why they're doing what they're doing. For me, I always exactly like a plateau. That's a fantastic word. You always reach a plateau, and even if you're not at that plateau yet, even if you're struggling, or if you're not able to make those sales you want to make, and you sit back and you say to yourself, "Okay, why am I doing what I'm doing here? What will this give me?" And when you realize what it'll give you in terms of fulfillment and what you can do with that money and what it will do, then you're going to be so much more driven. So for me, exactly what you said just then is exactly what happened. I lost my purpose in a way. And I was thinking to myself, what am I doing? I'm getting up, I'm sending some emails, making money, which is great. But then once you get past that, you've got to look at, okay, what's going to drive me to keep taking this forward every single day?
You did something very funny on a video last week. You said, "Oh no, have I got to get up and do this all again tomorrow?" I loved that line. That was a great line.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a great point you just mentioned. Is I believe internet marketing, and then when we're creating this freedom for ourselves, we need to be spinning plates. Now, people will be watching this thinking, what is he talking about? Spinning freaking plates. I don't know what he's going on about. But if you think about your life in your online world as spinning plates, then that's what really worked for me. Maintenance and immersion. That's what I remember. So
you talked about core pillars on there as well, which was something I hadn't heard before.
Yes, exactly. So core pillars of life, as I'm sure you'll agree, Rich, is happiness, health, wealth, romance. Okay, if you can get those locked down and you're working towards them, then you're on a good path. But a lot of people get overwhelmed by focusing on it all at once. They're thinking, right, tomorrow I need to hit the gym, I need to work on my business, I need to go out. Like if you're a young dude, you're going out and you think, right, I've got to meet this girl of my life. I've got to bring my current relationship up to that incredible level. But no, I need to go back onto the marketing campaign. Okay, I need to do this. Oh no, they need to go to the gym tomorrow. And next thing you know, they're like running themselves into a vicious circle. But if you can focus on one core pillar, so it might be your business, and don't get me wrong, you keep the other plates spinning, maintaining them, right? So that you're keeping them going. But that one core pillar for that month, you or whatever it may be, that certain time period, you're going deep, baby, man. You're going really deep, and you get it to that level where it's like going crazy. And once it's going like that, then you move on to the next core pillar, which may be, your relationships or your social life. And for myself, I'm fortunately not lucky enough just yet to find the woman of my dreams, but I like to go out with my friends and see my family, whatever it may be, and that's another plate that I get spinning. And then it will be going the next month. It will be, okay, I need to start eating healthier. Think can get taken care of myself, and that'll be the next month. And then you just keep building them up and up and up, and focusing on each one. That's what really works for me.
Very interesting, because you must have heard of Kim Willis from Australia. He's a top blogger, and he said the other day, find yourself one fan and make them a raving gold solid fan, and then move on to the next raving gold solid fan. And he said, how many raving gold solid fans do you think you'll need? 5? because they'll do all the work for you. They'll go out there, just work on one and build them up and make a very special relationship with it. The first 5 people and half your business work is done.
Yes.
It's interesting.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. So how have you found your journey? So I want to hear more about you, Rich. How have you found it all so far, and what you're doing now, and what you're up to? And maybe as I'm on here, anybody that needs some marketing tips and strategies that I can help out.
Well, there's 74 people here. I'm sure some of them have got some questions. Shall we invite some questions now?
Yeah.
Because I will email you with my own questions later, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But if anybody would like to ask Simon some questions while we've got him on here, pinned down, nailed to the chair for the next minute, what would you like to ask him? He's got a successful 6-figure plus business. He's got an international lifestyle. He lives in a beautiful part of Spain. I've seen it, and I'm very jealous. He's also got his place in London, and he's only about, 20, 30? He's not. He's a
30,
chicken.
no, 30.
He's a chicken.
Yeah.
I started this at 60, and I'm going to make it too. But, you don't have to be 30 to do it. But come on, then. Let's have some questions. Nice. I've got one, actually, which I can ask you while we're waiting. I want to talk a little bit more about some of the NLP. Here we go. How long did it take you to make a comfortable income? Says Jennifer.
Oh, good question. Good question. Wow, I need to think of this, actually. I was running around. Okay, so I was running around for absolutely ages initially, trying all sorts of things that didn't work. When I first got the internet connection in my house when I must have been 16, something like that. I was very lucky to get started young. But when I first got the internet connection, I was buying course after course after course, trying lots of different things. I was using eBay. I was looking at everything under the sun and getting nowhere. But when I made the breakthrough of finding a mentor, so for you guys, you guys have got one, but I found a mentor and somebody that I just stumbled upon on the Warrior Forum, and he helped me. And he just said to me, Simon, focus on building your email list of subscribers. Once you do that, then you're good to go. So once I discovered that, I'd say about a year of consistent effort, I was able to generate an income. Now, consistent income, so what I did is again, it comes down to wealth management as well. It's great generating an income, but if your expenses are crazy and they're exceeding what you're making, then you're just going to be going around in that vicious circle, and you're not going to get anywhere. So I made sure my expenses were minuscule. I was living in a shared apartment with my friends. I was I just kept everything. I was driving a beaten up cherry red Nissan Micra. Like I was literally like making sure everything I earned, I obviously paid the taxes, and I put everything into a sacred account. Now, the great thing is, once you build up that cash, those savings, over the course of a year, for example, if you're spending less than you earn and investing the difference, you start generating a comfortable income then, and you creep above your magic number, and that's how you then get that platform to leverage to the point where you're making tens of thousands in a month. And then it's just a game of, all right, how can I make 100,000 in a month? And then, but again, if you don't have that framework locked in at the beginning, in fact, there's a lot of, I won't mention any names, but there's a lot of guys out there making ridiculous sums of money, but they're like just upgrading their lifestyle every single time. In terms of, say, lifestyle, their expenses, they're flying first class, they're blooming, I don't know, they're just throwing it away in clubs, buying bottles and dancing with girls, whatever it may be. I don't know, but that's not going to get you anywhere.
You're spot on that. I mean, I have to say, my first goal in my business was to have enough residual income to pay for my advertising, my software costs, my domain housing, and whatever you call it, and all that stuff, so that I didn't have to go, I haven't got enough for my autoresponder this month. I wanted to make sure my residual income for those of you who don't know, that's what you set up, and then it continues to pay you every month, usually some sort of a membership, which we all incorporate into every fund we make, is a residual income monthly membership. Now, no, we're not trying to rip people off. These are the people who buy into what we're doing and want to actually spend time with us and hear how we're doing our business. They want us to help them build theirs. So that is high value. Usually that's where you put most of your heart, is when you're building that residual income. Simon's decided to take a quick jump out for a moment, and now he's come back again. But yeah, what I was saying was that that was the point in my business, which was where I actually, let me just get Simon back. Here he comes. Was to build up enough monthly residual income to pay all my expenses. So anything else that I earned, those nice big ticket sales at the end of the month, which do turn up, those are not going to be eaten up by my monthly expenses. Those are profit, and I can start doing different things with that money because I've already covered the expenses of my daily living plus my business management, my business running, my costs, my accounts and all that. So that was all I was going to say there. That was my goal with the first one, was to become self-sufficient. And once you've done that, then you're free. You have a huge freedom. Suddenly the door opens, the birds start singing, and you realize, heck, I don't have to worry anymore. And that's when the fun starts.
Absolutely. And absolutely. And I mean, this isn't flattery, but I mean, just speaking to you, Rich, I'm pumped up because you've got the same energy. You're very, you're quite a guy that thinks along these lines as well. And I think as long as you're putting that out there for all to see and absorb, then they're going to subscribe to you. And I think that's fantastic.
But there's one thing I was terrified of doing this interview with you, is because we have a thing called a talking stick, which is that you pass it to the person who wants to talk next. And I just foresaw a huge problem because you and I are very communicative. And you noticed me biting my lip and putting duct tape over my mouth every 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, he wanted to join in.
This is about you. Yeah. So I want you to tell us anything else you want to tell us about what you're up to now and what your plans are and where you tend to go, because we've been on nearly an hour now, and maybe that's enough for most people. Finish us off with your aspirations and goals. Not too specific if you don't want to.
Oh, I don't. I'm totally 100% always transparent with what I'm doing. But okay, so my focus, I'm going to say the next 365 days, I'm going to be focusing on YouTube big time. Okay, so I'm going to be focusing on creating an immense self-help personal development, but also integrated with internet marketing YouTube channel. And I'm doing that because I want to prove to myself that I can integrate lifestyle and making money online perfectly. And that's what really works for me. And to show people that, it's all good earning the money, but it can also give you everything you can put value into the marketplace. So that's what I'm doing. I'm focusing big time on that. I'm putting out lots of content on there, keeping the other income streams or traffic generation strategies going. But that's my biggest focus really, is actually to not sell. That sounds crazy, but that I feel so much more alive. And when I'm doing this, in addition to like the buying traffic and the conversion side, I mean, that's great. But on the side, I'm creating value whereby I can feel so proud if I meet somebody or whatever, and I say, hey, check out this channel or check out my channel, and people watch it. And I want to be able to feel like, wow, that is my something I could be proud of. So that's what I'm doing. Actually, I'll just say my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Simon Stanley Success. Subscribe, and you're going to get more of this content. What I'll do before we wrap up, I'm gonna have a little inspirational talk for 2 minutes, if that's all right. Because I know, like, a lot of people on here, there's 77 people, and I think a lot of them may be at the stage whereby they're at the beginnings of this, getting overwhelmed with everything, and they're thinking, okay, what can I get started with? Okay, this all sounds great, Simon. Everything you've talked about for the past hour, it sounds fantastic about happiness and all that, but man, I'm struggling to make ends meet. I don't know what to do. I need to get started with something. Guys, make that one step every single day. If you do that consistently, forget what everybody's saying about hustling, grinding like 20 hours a day. If you do one thing a day, right, and you do that over the course of a year, you're going to make so much progress. It's unbelievable. And I wish I knew that when I started out. I wish that most people are spouting all this stuff on social media, are doing it to pump themselves up in terms of filling their ego or making themselves feel good that the fact they're working or grinding or whatever it may be. And I think it has an effect on people. I think people read that and think, oh, well, I should be doing that, or I should be doing this. Guys, put yourself out there, align with your values about what's important to you, realize what your magic number is, and work towards that number so that your magic number, you know exactly what you need to generate every month. If you've got one big customer a month, that's you sorted. If you know that, it takes so much of that overwhelm, so much out of the equation, and you can just focus then on ramping things up, and you'll end up doing better in the long run as well. So I hope that makes sense. And again, I wish I knew that when I started out, because I was always looking at the huge numbers that people were posting on Facebook, thinking, oh, I'm never going to go anywhere near that. And you make your first $100 online, and then you make it $1,000, your first big ticket sale, and then you just keep going to the next step, baby, ramping it up, and before you know it, you're going to be rocketing. So just don't get overwhelmed, guys. That's my key point for the end.
Simon, that's gold dust, and anybody who really listened to what you said then, fly.
Yes.
I wish I'd known that. I wish I'd known that too.
Absolutely, Rich. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Now I look forward to seeing everyone's responses to this. Awesome. Thank you very much, Rich.